Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's me, Mitch. Again, 35 or 6 degrees outside. I'm dressed up like an Eskimo, and it's Monday morning. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch, and I can't wait to dive into this hot coffee here. So let's all drink it if we got it. Wow. How was everybody? Happy Martin Luther King's birthday and federal holiday. No mail, no banking, no stock exchange. What are we going to do today? Most people will probably sit around and eat, but I don't think we will. Peter. Good morning, Peter. Peter asked me a question already. Mitch, Peter is so observant. Who else would have picked this up except Peter? Who else would have picked this up? Question. Mitch, I just noticed you changed the time for people being able to leave a comment. I mean, that means in this chat, from 24 hours to 1 hour. Any reason that you decided to do this? Yes, Peter. There was a reason. And I'll probably keep it that way for a little while. And the reason, in case you're interested, the reason is this. This is, without a doubt, the best performing video of my career. And YouTube is still pushing the hell out of it 3 days later. And that's the one where I said I'm canceling my physical. And the reason I changed it to an hour is right here. You notice I added 1,700 subscribers. Not to mention the other 85,000 people that actually clicked on this video that did subscribe. And I kind of figured, Peter, that more than likely a few of them would get this morning live stream in their feed now because they found my channel, and they might come in here. They might come into the stream and participate, but they hadn't subscribed yet. So I'm good. Basically, I changed it to an hour. It's not going to help them today, but I figured at least maybe if it goes over a little, I think they can get it on the end of it. But I just did it. Because I figured I'm going to be getting a lot of maybe new visitors to the Morning Coffee live stream. At least I hope I do. I wanted them to be able to chat. I also figured I may be getting a trillion trolls. So I set it to an hour. Maybe I should have set it to like 30 minutes in hindsight. But that's the reason. There's a reason for everything. I always say that. Let's see who's here this morning. And let me say hi to everybody. It is trying to warm up. Everything's cold. Who is first? Michael Silly, as usual, greetings from Tampa, and Lady June. How you doing, June? Good to see you. See you from England. Brian Dish is here. Hiya, Brian, on this Martin Luther King Day. Happy birthday, Marty, by the way. Sandy Blythe, good morning from freezing North Florida. Yeah, don't you know it? Don't you know it? Tuka's here. Hiya, Tuka, from probably more freezing Finland. Good to see you, my friend. Mike Shealy from Melbourne. Looking forward to seeing both of you guys. February 6th at Kiltsy's house. I hope nothing comes along to screw that up or get in the way. I think we'll have a good time. Lucy Work is here this morning. Good morning, Lucy. Rick, morning from Miami. And Mary M is here. Hiya, Mary. Good to see you. Wayne Herman. Hiya, Wayne. And Tammy Patarch says hi to y'all misfits. The Peppermint Cat. Good morning. I enjoyed what you had to say about doctors and medicine. There you go. See, I thought maybe somebody new would chime in. Welcome, Peppermint Cat. All I can tell you is if you have cat anywhere associated with you or your name or your channel, you will immediately fit into this crowd. Just come to any of our evening live streams where we have a panel usually dominated by cats. You don't believe me? Check it out. Anyway, good morning and welcome. Morning and welcome. Lizzie, how you doing, Lizzie? Good to see you. Sandy Blythe says hi to Tuka. Bill Cook, hiya, Billy. And Lori's here. Hiya, Lori, sweetie. How you doing? Good to see you this morning. Captain America, Mr. Steve Rogers. From Kansas City, Missouri. Hiya, Steve. Good to see you. Bill Cook. Mitch Fitz. Forever. And Peter chimes in, and Robbie Autry. And guess what? You didn't make it, Robbie. You did make it this morning. You jumped the gun, but the winner at 7 instantly right on the bell. The other one that seems to always win. Lambs. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Anthony is here. Hey, let us know. Don Shager is here. Hiya, Don. G, Don. Brenda McIntyre. Morning, everyone. 15 likes already. Oh, that's great. That's great. I think there were about 7 or 8 of them when I first it accumulated during the pre-show hours. Everybody lame says it. Probably under close. Yeah, gloat, man. Rub it in. Rub it in. Here's Peter's question. And Donna Ray is here. Bacon Runner. Hi, Donna Ray. Good to see you. Morning from the snow-covered and beautiful state of Maine. Are you out running today? Why not? Why not? Put on your snowshoes. Ribeye Susie's here. Good morning to you. And Robbie showing some good sportsmanship. Attaboy. Or girl. Robbie could be either. I don't know if I know whether Robbie Autry is a man or a woman. Never thought of that. Just assumed you see Robbie, you assume man, but let me know. Well, so we got CB is here. Hi, CB. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Larry James. Morning, Larry. Good to see you. And Is that an A or an O? It's so hard to tell. It was like an A, as wife. That's why I watched and subscribed, and here I am. Welcome to you. Welcome to you. I figured out of all those people, a few would probably find their way to the morning chat. I hope you enjoy it. It's wildly different here from the tone of that video. That video was meant to be serious, and I get serious, but I do these live streams to lighten up a little bit and socialize. But the real value of these live streams is not, it's not me. Well, I add something to it, but I participate in these live streams. It's not meant to be a show. It's meant to be a meeting of like to interact with each other, for me to interact with you. We're all trying to accomplish the same thing. And one of the most important things is support and the ability to not feel like you're out of your mind and an outcast. Kind of like what religious people do when they go to church on Sunday. They want to be around people like them. And that's the purpose of this. And that's why, after years of doing it, we see the same people generally, the same crowd in here every morning, and they become great friends. And camaraderie is the name of the game. So any new people, don't feel like a sore thumb. Feel free, chat, ask me questions by putting QQQ. And I might miss them because it gets busy, but I'll try to get to you. But make some new friends, and I hope you become a regular part. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning, and Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday evenings. Now, on the live streams in the evening, where it's a little different, I put a link to what I call the panel. You've seen a multi-windowed where you have a bunch of different people involved. Well, anybody in the live stream can click on that link and they'll get a window. And we talk face to face. So it's like a Zoom meeting. It's the next best thing to being in the room. I get to meet you. I love that. We have some regular people that check in and join always, and I value them because they keep it going. We get most new people are a little shy, but it's growing in popularity. The number of people who do come and watch is getting larger, and I'm going to keep going. I hope it does well. I hope it does well. So again, welcome to anybody here this morning who this is their first time, and certainly welcome to Barry, Simon, and everyone from a snowy Massachusetts. Yeah, I'll bet, Barry. I'll bet. Ramblin' Rose, don't recognize that. Yes, and yes. I admire the positivity, Rose. Yes, ma'am. I just saw where Lori said, congrats on your channel growth. Yes, wow. Honest to God, it has grown. I was on a trend where YouTube wouldn't push out my videos. I'm convinced now I was getting shadow banned. I think all carnivores are. If you have carnivore in your channel name, the big channels like Ken Berry, Anthony Chafee, Bart K, Sean Baker, they don't have carnivore in their channel name. I can almost tell you when this started. They had a big news release about YouTube and this and that. And my viewer count and growth dropped to 10% of what it was. And it never recovered. It never recovered. I changed my channel name, got the word carnivore out of it. My handle is still OldGuyCarnivore, but I changed it to Mitch Weiss OGC Healthy Aging. And my last two videos went back and performed like they used to perform when I first started, with a fraction of the subscribers that I have now. We'll see what happens in the future. But they're still pushing that video. It's up to 86, 87,000 views now in 3 days. I never had a video go like that, and yet still being promoted and getting 1,000, 2,000 views an hour. And I keep gaining subscribers from it, which, if it was just that simple, to get the word carnivore out of my channel name, I would have done it a long time ago. It's like walking around with a black armband on. So, in one event, this has re-inspired me to put more effort into YouTube if I'm going to see some benefit, instead of losing 10 subscribers a day on average, which is what I have been doing for the past 2 months. And if you don't think that depresses you, even though the subscriber count doesn't matter much, well, I can hit me here to tell you it does. Makes you wonder, why do I bother? Well, if things keep going like they're going, I'll know exactly why I bother. Everybody wants to be accepted. Sandy Blythe welcomes as wife, says hi and welcome. Question. So your show is one of want to do some. Okay, Peter. Okay, Peter. I said that as I was leaving my little explanation, that I should have made it maybe half an hour, because the show will be over in an hour. You don't miss much, my friend. Honest to God, you don't miss much. Butch Knapp is here. Hi, Butch. How you doing? And it's actually, Peter, he's still talking about it. Really not that important. Not that important at all. Because the people that subscribed don't have any waiting period. Basically, it is for the trolls. And the ones that didn't subscribe are maybe not likely to get notice of my live stream. It may be that none of them that did not subscribe got a notice or got this in the recommended feed. Anyway, so it's all academic, because all of the new people are subscribers. Imagine that. And it's great to see that. 74,000. How many subscribers am I up to? Wow, I never thought I'd hit it. Approaching 50,000. That's going to be the big one. And the way things are going, I never, ever thought that I would get there. I never thought that I would get there. Right now, 47,692. Wow. That shows you how many new people got to see that video, because YouTube was doing its job and pushing it out there. It has 76,000 views, and I don't have that many subscribers. The numbers can be interesting, but they're so frustrating. And we got 100 people here this morning. the real hardcore, the Mitch fits. And I so appreciate you being here. Oh, Peter says it's chilly 46 degrees. Wow, that is chilly for South Florida, Peter. Super freezing. Loretta, hi, Loretta says super freezing in the mid-Atlantic this morning. On a weather talk. Yeah, Rick says a lot of cat people. Yeah, Rick knows. Rick knows. This is great. This is great. This is great. Lori says, I got a sweetie, Sandy, because I called her sweetie this morning. That makes me feel special, Lori. Thank you. Thank you. Rick was outside hunting iguanas this morning. Wow, nothing much changes. It's still got to be cold out there. Mary M says she's got 2 cats. And we have somebody else new that I don't know. We have Rough Stuff. Greetings from Guam, Mr. Mitch. New carnivore here. Love your content. Thanks to you, I have a new air fryer. Well, thanks to you. I appreciate the support there. Typhus Sink. That's a great air fryer and very inexpensive. Man, what a bargain for what with the thermometer and everything for what it costs. I hope you enjoy it. I use mine. I have 2 of those Typhus. I use the Sink and the Dome 2. They're both great. Typhus wants to send me some like an oven, one of those toaster oven air fryer combos, and I basically said no, thank you. I have no use for that. But the other things from Typhus, I got to tell you, great stuff. And welcome to you, Rough Stuff. Looking for questions along here. Nothing much eventful happened. Had a beautiful weekend up until yesterday afternoon when a front blew through here. Things started flying through the air. It was crazy windy. My son and his wife were at it. Some kind of outdoor event where they had all these tents set up. And I called him about, I was supposed to go to his house for dinner last night. And I called him about in the middle of all this hurricane-like wind. And I said, at 2:00, I called him. Excuse me. And he said, he didn't answer. So I called because I was saying, I'm not going over to his house and drive all the way over there and get blown off the road or rained on, even worse. And then the highlight of my trips going to his house is not just eat dinner. It's sitting out on that back porch with that beautiful view right on the water on the intercoastal. And if it's blowing windy and cold out there, so I wanted to say, why don't we postpone this? Which I hate to do. So 2:30, I got him on the phone and he and his wife are driving back from this event. And I said something about the weather, and he went ahead and just went into a whole spiel about what they just went through, trying to hold tents down and all that. And he agreed with me 100%. So one day during the week, when it's nice and sunny and it's warmed up, I will go to his house for dinner. But it's been crazy. It's been crazy. Don't forget, put QQQ in the chat. One thing, and I talked about this the other night, one thing that just really surprised me about this video I put out, basically I just said I'm canceling my physical this year. I kind of always I'm very down on the medical system. And if you don't believe me, keep a lookout for my next video in a day or two. Not today. My little salmon and egg video is over 6,000 views now. But I think it's kind of bottomed out. But that other one is still going. And if it keeps going, it's going to break 100,000, which is rarefied air for me. I've only had a few of them. My famous throw the chuck roast in the slow cooker video is over 100,000. But for me, that's lofty. For some YouTubers, that's the first hour they get to 100,000 views. The first 10 minutes. Unfortunately, or fortunately, not me. I will tell you what. I spent the entire, and this is the downside of that. Not a downside for me, but so much work. 1,000 comments, maybe. Some of them a veritable book, pages and pages and pages. I still feel an obligation to at least read what people put in my videos. Nobody wants to be ignored. But in YouTube, there are very few YouTubers that spend the time I do honoring the fact that their viewers actually took the time to tell their story. Very few of those comments actually had replies from other viewers. And I can understand that because there was just so many of them. So many of them. I'll give an example. Late last night, I went ahead and answered. I must have been at 10 o'clock, 10:30. Brought it up to date. I brought it up to date. And you find it. Here it is. I brought it up to date. So there were no unanswered comments as of 10:30 last night. So overnight while I slept, more comments came in. And I want to show you these comments. This one is from 7 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 9 hours ago. But this is how many comments I have to, as soon as I'm done here on this live stream, I'm going to start reading them, giving them either a heart or a heart and a reply. And just so you know, if you go religious missionary on me, I don't in any way condemn your right to be as religious as you want. But don't look at me as a sinner that needs saving and write me 5,000 words on why I'm going to hell if I don't adopt your particular religion. If it gets too bad, I actually just basically hide your, and this is the first time you've ever commented. I consider you a troll and I hide your comments from the channel. You're not banned from the channel, but the comments you put in there will not be seen. If I don't think it's too extreme, everybody has the right to their opinion. I will not give it a heart. I can't bring myself to have anybody think that Mitch loves your comment. I'm sorry. I'm an honest guy. I'm not going to just blow air up your skate, but I will put a comment in there and say, okay. So when you see, if I answer your comment, I do this very rarely, where it just says, okay, it means it's not really that bad. I don't particularly agree with it, but I will not, absolutely never, ever debate with any of you. I don't debate on any subject anytime. I don't do reaction videos. I will not debate. At this point in my life, I know what I believe and I know what I don't believe, and that's my business. Not saying I'm always right, but if I'm wrong, I'm going to find it out for myself. I don't want to do it in public and fight. I'm tired of conflict. I've had it all my life. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I try to handle these comments with that attitude. So just in case it happens, you'll understand. Most people never go back and notice what I've done. And I reply to a lot of comments, because people like to know that if you watch somebody, I would love to know that Ken Berry hangs on my every word, but he doesn't. He knows I exist, but how can you? There's too much. And I'm going to show you. These are the comments that came in since last night. And don't be fooled by the fact that they look short. That one is only one line over, but there's always a more. And one's two. Some of them go on for pages. And I always expand them out, and I always read the entire thing. The stories that I've read are about other people and their abuse in this system is incredible. We're still going. This is just since last night. And I've got to read every one of these and either reply or say, Mitch loves it. And I do that by giving it a heart. Now I got to the bottom. So this is the gist of the comments. I feel the same way. I'll be 66 soon and I haven't used my Medicare yet. They keep trying to call me. Well, I don't like that. So I'll give it a heart. Now, it won't show up in this feed anymore. This feed is only, if you can see up here, it says response status unresponded. If I take that out and I sort it by the newest, this will go on for days. 4 days. At the top are all the ones I haven't answered yet. Now, this is what I go through. I haven't answered any of these yet or responded to them. And there you'll find what I did last night, and you start to see the hearts. You start to see the hearts. And here's one which I really like. Somebody came on 12 hours ago and proclaimed to everybody in the house her advice. I know it's her as because her name starts with Mrs. Eat a raw diet, exclamation point. I've said it, so you believe it. Now, that's one of those, I got to think about a minute on what I want to do with this. Well, I gave it a heart. I did give it a heart. And it's stupid for me to agonize over each and every one of users' comments, but behind them, I see a person with their own beliefs strong enough to put down in the comments on a video, who has watched my video, so that entitles them to a little bit of my respect most of the time. So I did give her a heart, but I figured I can't just leave it at that. So I actually took the time to reply, and I wanted to make my reply funny. So I said, does that include raw chicken and raw potatoes? Question mark. Now, I doubt that she'll ever see that I replied to it. She's, but at least if anybody looks at that and says, well, I didn't think Mitch would fall for that. Eating a raw diet is not the same as eating raw meat or eating raw beef, because nobody except a kid named Joey Schwartz a long time ago wants you to eat raw chicken. Ugh, God, that sounds disgusting. At any rate, this will go on. And you see, every one of these has a red heart, except my replies don't have a red heart. Here's another new user. I just found your channel, and I'm so glad you are a very wise man. Well, I can't just accept a compliment like that without a thank you or I appreciate that. So I replied. I don't have time to reply or get into a conversation with anybody, and especially not a debate. But this, I got to tell you, there are more than 1,000. I don't even know how many right now. More than 1,000 comments on this video, and this is what I've been doing for the whole entire weekend. Whoa, it looks like I missed a few. Oh no, I have to hit show more replies. Okay, here we go. It showed me the new ones again that I haven't answered yet. And now it's crazy. It's crazy. So if I do reply to your comments on my video, I hope you give me a little credit for the amount of work that it actually takes. And this is why when you reply to Sean Baker or any of the guys who get a lot more views than I do, there's no way in the world they can possibly, there's not enough time. So those bigger YouTubers have staffs of people that they hired to read the comments in case there's something important in them, because people, when they make a comment on a video, think they're talking to the person that made the video. And when you comment on a Ken Berry video, which probably on average get about fewer views than that one that I just showed you, but up in that realm, you can see the kind of work involved to try to do justice to the comments on a video that gets 80, 90, 100,000 views, not to mention those that get in the millions of views. It's crazy. It's crazy. So at any rate, that, and in my haste to close windows, I closed the window for this morning that I was watching. So let me get it back up again so I can monitor the stream. There we are. Okay. Okay. And one more little thing. You know, these things are not very well structured, nor do I want them to be. I kind of view these morning live streams not as a news show, but having my friends over for coffee. So AZ Wi-Fi figured out. I saw somebody else put capital AZ, probably means Arizona wife. Okay, that makes more sense. Makes more sense. And we have a couple of new people here. AZ Wife, Peppermint Cat. Anybody else new that I miss? Let me go over here and on the chat that you can see and search for any questions. Tuka has a question. I see it right here. Tuka says, second attempt. Well, we didn't get to the first one yet. How are you today, boss? I'm great, Tuka. I'm doing great. Feeling good. It's cold outside. It by like 10 o'clock, it's going to get up to maybe 45 degrees. It's going to top out this afternoon at 55 degrees, and then it starts to warm up And we have over a week or 10 days of warmer weather to look forward to, because after all, this is Florida. But this is typical for wintertime. And so far it hasn't been that bad. Hasn't gotten to freezing here yet. But in previous years it has. So I'm going to hit my F3 key, and I'm going to type QQQ in my search box. And Peter says, maybe doing more cooking videos will help drive up your subs and views. Your thoughts? Cooking videos are good. They don't go viral. They get consistently higher views because they appeal to a broader range. Problem with doing cooking videos is variety. I got to start if I'm going to keep doing cooking videos, I need to rehash old recipes and do a new version of that video. There's only so many things that I make that are carnivore. Very limited. You can't get real fancy recipes bringing in 10, 20, 30 different ingredients like all the rest of the cooking world does, turning cooking into an adventure and entertainment, which it isn't. They have a whole network, cable TV network, the Food Channel, dedicated to the entertainment value of food. Why would people watch it? They can't eat the food. They can't have it's entertainment and food. That's our biggest problem in this country. Food is not for nutrition anymore, according to the average person. It is for pleasure and entertainment. And how do you get pleasure and entertainment? You have variety. You come up with new things. What other possible excuse could we have for all those different flavors of Cheerios? Cheerios are Cheerios. What do we have? How many different flavors right now? Inquiring minds want to know. Let's see, Google. How many flavors of Cheerios? And my typing with my bum right hand is getting much better. How many flavors of Cheerios are there? Whether you choose strawberry, cinnamon, or cookies and cream, taste. Oh, that's an advertisement. It's an advertisement. There's more flavors in Cheerios than 3. Multigrain Cheerios, cereal, honey Cheerios, cereal, and new very berry Cheerios. That's not even all. Do we need that many Cheerios, for God's sakes? So we eat for variety. People watch cooking videos to find out new and entertaining and exciting ways to get more pleasure from their food. Carnivores watch cooking videos to see if somebody hasn't come up with something other than the same old thing to make a hamburger or a chicken thigh or a steak. Because there's only so many things you can do with a steak. You can pan fry it. You can sous vide it. You can barbecue it. You can smoke it. Okay. I've already made those videos. Now what do I do? So, Peter, yeah, I'd love to make more. I'd love to make more. Peter, I'd love to make more cooking videos. Throw me some suggestions. And anybody that, because all my cooking videos have a little bit of suspense in them. They are usually my first time attempts experimenting to make something new after I've thought about, would this be a good way to do it? So I go into the kitchen and you get to see an unscripted, unrehearsed, sometimes an unsettled on recipe. It might change as I go and see what the results are. And if it comes out horrible, if I walk away from it saying, God, I'll never do that again, I don't make a video out of it. I throw away the footage on my camera and try something else. So if I tell you there have been a lot more of those than successful ones where I end up going yum at the end, you should believe me. You should believe me. Here's a question from Loretta right here. And Loretta says, my 80-20 ground beef was filled with water and fat drippings, but my 73-27 ground beef only had fat drippings after cooking. Why? What is the better buy? I don't think, Loretta, that it had anything to do with the fat to protein ratio. Of course, I don't know where you got the beef. I would suspect they were different sources. All beef contains water. We are 3/4 water. Our own muscle contains water. Everything contains water. Life can't happen without water. Most of the cooking recipes I've seen for ground beef, where they chop it and cook it in a pan, one of the main things that most people don't do that you should do is brown it until the water boils out of it, and you're left with only the fat. It takes some time. So I can't tell you why that happened. I have no idea till I knew more about the beef or the cooking method or whatever. But you got to have water in all beef. When I take those Sam's Club frozen patties and throw them frozen into the air fryer, I use my Typherdome too, and I take the grate out of the bottom. So I'm just using the bottom as a pan with a solid bottom. I put 3 of those patties in there. I cook them at 350 degrees for 11 minutes, and they're perfectly cooked. And there's a ton of water came out of them. Very little grease, though, but a ton of water, and it slosh around. I take the burgers out of the pan, and before it cools much more, and before I eat the burgers, I might make a video about this. The easiest thing and quickest and simplest thing for me to do is I take my old Ziploc garbage bag. I put it in the sink. I take all that liquid. I just pour it before the fat actually solidifies. I pour it into the garbage bag, let it drip pretty good. Take a couple of paper towels and dry it out, and set it down. Takes 30 seconds to do that, and I don't have to wash it. I could wash it if I wanted, but at that point, it's got a nice little thin coating of tallow from the hamburgers on it, which is preservative. It's not going to hurt it. And I've saved myself the cleanup. I spend no time, very little time cooking or cleaning up from cooking. It's incredible how little time, especially when you're eating one meal a day. You're going to do it once a day. Yesterday, I made 2 dirty dishes. No, yeah, a dinner plate. And as part of my meal, my one meal a day, I got a little bowl of pork rinds to have as kind of like as potato chips on the side. Not 2 meals, not a snack, but part of my meal. And that's all. Those were the only things I dirtied up yesterday because the air fryer was already clean after I got done pouring that stuff out and wiping it out. No time. Took me no time to prepare that meal and no time to clean up for it and no mess in the kitchen. And I could get on to bigger and more exciting things like answering comments. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Surely you have to have more cues than that. I don't see any. There we go. Why didn't it pick that up? Okay, a question from a new addition to our family of Mitch Fits. From Rough Stuff, how you doing, Rough Stuff? Question, Mr. Mitch. I know you are like having eggs and bacon for breakfast. My question is, how do you plan out your meals for the rest of the day, week, and do you follow intermittent fasting too? Well, that's a great question. That's a great question. I've talked about it many times. Yes, I have intermittent fasted for a long time, since I was back on keto. About the longest eating window I can ever remember doing, ever, was 8 hours. And very rarely did I even do that. For the longest time, I did 2 meals a day, separated by 3 or 4 hours. So that gave me a 19 to 20 hour fasting window every day. And I'm always careful to eat enough food that I gain satiety from the food. And I wait to the point where I just go, oh God, I've had enough. I don't want to eat anymore. If I eat anymore, bad things will happen. And I can go easily 24 hours without even thinking about it. And I did yesterday. The day before yesterday, I had my one meal a day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Well, yesterday I was supposed to go to my son's house for dinner. So I said, well, I'm only going to eat one meal. And we're probably going to eat about 5, 6 o'clock. So I just won't eat till then. And when I tried to call him in the afternoon, I'd already been 24 hours without food. So when you eat the right food with a lot of fat and a lot of nutrition, you don't need to eat any more than once, maybe twice a day. The rest of that eating usually is for entertainment or because you're a sugar addict, and every hour or two, you need to keep topping off your sugar fills. It's the way most people live, but not the way we're supposed to live or that I want to live. So yeah, the question is, I eat one meal a day. As far as planning goes, the range of what I eat is I don't plan anything. I don't measure anything. I don't count anything. I have no structure to it. I go completely by my whims and what am I in the mood for? What haven't I had recently? And the decision on what I'm going to have every day is usually made the night before. Last night, I made the decision that today was going to be bacon, eggs, and beef day. So what do I need to prepare for that? Nothing. The bacon and eggs are ready to go. The bacon's defrosted in the fridge. The eggs are in the fridge. The beef is frozen in the freezer, but I cook it in the air fryer. So I will have probably a half a pound of bacon, 5 eggs. And when I get done eating the bacon and eggs, I'll assess how much beef I want. Do I want 1 patty more? Maybe 2? And that'll be it for the day. And that's all. That night, tomorrow night, since I haven't had it in more than a couple of days, I will probably take some frozen chicken thighs out of the freezer, make a decision about whether I want to make salmon with my eggs. Do I want bacon with my eggs? Do I want shrimp with my eggs? Do I want anchovies with my eggs? Because I'm going to have the eggs every day. Very rarely now do I skip a day without the eggs. I think eggs are absolutely the most nutritious things that we can eat on this lifestyle. It's so nutritionally complete. And I have been feeling so good since I started doing that every day. My energy just stays. It's hard to know how much recovering from that stroke and regaining my movement and muscle mass, how much that takes out of me. It does take something, but it is getting better. It is getting better. It's working. And that's what I do. To me, food has lost most of what it used to have. The treat factor. I don't look at food as a treat. It's not a treat for me. It's fuel. I look at it as fuel. Now, you want it to be pleasant. You want it to taste good. But not as important as it used to be. And certainly not the variety that used to be. So that's how I feel about it. That's how I practice it. Laurie says, DS111, talking to Laurie, says, sometimes I wonder if I'm just deluding myself about my hair getting dark again. A couple of times when I told people about it, they asked if I am dyeing it. Only rock stars should. Yeah, my friend, there's no doubt about the fact that at 79 years old, as you can see, my hair is dark. Look, 79 years old. It's always been dark, but it's gotten darker. It's gotten darker when I started carnivore. I haven't grown any more of it on top of my head. It's not like it's growing hair over my bald spot, but there aren't too many almost 79-year-olds with hair as dark. And of course, our beards go gray much faster. Mine, years before any gray started to show up in my temples, and I do have gray in my temples. You can see it there. The facial hair goes gray sooner, but the amount of gray in my facial hair, I still have dark hair here in the center of my beard. You see my mustache is like salt and pepper. Has not changed. Not gotten any more gray since I started carnivore. This same pattern and look has pretty well stopped changing. Now, is this going to stay forever? I don't know. Come back and ask me when I'm 100. We'll see how my hair is, if I still have dark hair. My father didn't. He went gray. When he was my age, he was totally gray. So, and how would I ever know what my mother's hair was like? Because it was always colored some outrageous color, because that was what housewives did in the 50s and 60s. So Mitch, your hair is very dark now. Yeah. I don't think about it because there's so little of it, but I've never minded being bald-headed. Hey, Aaron is here. Booby Goats, how you doing? I might have a few lives through the week. I'm not sure it's going to be okay. I don't know if you're going to do that today, but Michael Pregler's here. How you doing? And got us there in months. Good to see you, Michael. Who else have I missed? That's here, Sandy. CB is still in the chat. Yeah. Oh, this is a good one, CB. CB says, Dad always said, you don't like it, you'll eat it when you're starving. And I heard an interesting comment about somebody who had asked a question somewhere. Well, how do I know if I'm really hungry? And the answer was, imagine the most disgusting, undesirable food that you've ever come across. Something that just turns you off. And we've gotten into the habit constantly of grazing all day. How many times did I used to find myself standing in front of the refrigerator, mindless, not even knowing how I got there, looking for something to eat an hour after dinner. So I was told, imagine you're standing mindlessly in front of the refrigerator. You think you're hungry, but the only thing in the refrigerator that you can eat is that disgusting, stinky stuff that you can't stand. If you wouldn't eat it at that moment, you weren't hungry. You get hungry enough, you will eat anything. And that's a great mental exercise and a marker to determine to yourself, how hungry am I? And for me, there are some foods I find completely disgusting. My grandparents and parents, when I was a kid, they used to eat cow's brains. They'd bring out these bowls with this great gooey looking crap. I got sick. I couldn't even be in a room with it. Now, a lot of people eat that stuff, but for me, it was the most disgusting thing. The thought of it, the look of it. And that's my comparative benchmark. How hungry am I? Well, would I eat cow's brains? And if you start thinking, well, I probably would, then you're hungry. The good thing about carnivore is it's the only way, or ketovore, or anything low or zero carb with no high glycemic carbs and no sugars, which are basically for immediate energy. It triggers satiety hormones. You don't need to take injections of GLP-1. You make it. I did want to recommend a video to everybody today. And I do that. I'm going to start doing that on my morning live streams. Instead of making a separate video saying, you should watch this, there are many people that are doing great work on YouTube. And I watch a lot of their videos and learn a lot from them. And I make a note of them. I save them. I saw a video the other day. I wanted to bring it to your attention. Let me make sure I got the right video here. Oh, come on. What did I do? Oh, it's Dr. Sten Ekberg. If you've never watched, he's a huge YouTuber, and he's very, very good, and his videos are really great. And this video says the biological cost of Ozempic and other GLP-1s. You gotta watch this. There's already got 232,000 views in 3 days. This guy's a superstar. I very rarely, if ever, disagree with him, but he will explain GLP-1 in a way that you never understood it. And you will learn more. You will learn more about human digestion, how the hormones work, what GLP-1 really is, how it differs from the glucagon that we manufacture in our own body, what the dangers of it are, what is likely to happen to you if you ever go on it and try to get off of it. And if everybody believed what he says, nobody would touch this stuff. I thought that he presented it like he always does, in a very scientific and accurate way. I admire the guy. I'm not at all like him. I can't imagine him being a clown like I do, but you ought to watch this video. So I'm going to take it. I'm going going to cut the link right here and paste it in the chat. And as soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to go in and I'm going to edit the description of the video. So by the time you're watching this, if you're watching the replay, which a lot of people do, there will be a link to this video in the description. And if you really want to learn, best GLP-1 video I've seen, I don't want to make it. I don't have the audience for it, but Sten does, and it'll also introduce you to him as well. So that's my recommendation for this morning. And I've decided that if I find these videos, I'm going to recommend them in the morning. So if I find one every day, perish the thought, that means I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos. But I'll make it kind of a regular segment. Maybe even give it a little theme music. Mitch's video recommendation of the day. You know, make a showbiz thing out of it. I really think you'd like this video. And I hope I don't forget. Okay, Mitch, as soon as you're done here, as soon as you're done, go right to the description and add this. Okay, I'm set. So I'm going to finish now. And I won't forget to do that. And play a little happy music for everybody to say goodbye to your friends in the chat. For those of you that this is your first live stream, I've done one of two things. You either said, this is really fun, I'm going to do this more often, or, wow, this guy's a real clown, I'm never doing this again. Either way, thanks so much for coming. Thanks so much for coming. CB Carmack says, that's a living emoji. Golf Addict, Spanky, bye all, and cheers. Lori Watts, the question is, you ever find a kid? No, I never found that stupid little stone. It's down there somewhere. I think it probably rolled under the desk. I haven't wanted to go down on my hands and knees and look for it. I haven't forgotten about it. I don't care about it one way or the other. It's not important to me. But when the girl comes to clean my house on Thursday, I'm giving her a flashlight. I'm going to say, go find my kidney stone. It's, which is something that I don't think has ever been said in the history of the world to a cleaning woman. Here's a flashlight. Go find my kidney stone. But again, I always like to break new ground and do unexpected things. So yeah, thanks for asking about that. I'm not even pissed off. I don't care. You know, I'm happy to get rid of the things. I still have one of them. I saved two of them. So it's not like I don't have a kidney stone. Should anybody come to my front door and knock and say, hello, sir, we were wondering if you had a kidney stone that we could see. I can always be of help to that person. And anyway, Lambs, thanks, Mitch. Have a good day. And everybody, have a great day. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow night in the chat, Tuesday Night Live, and again Wednesday morning on Morning Coffee with Mitch. And until I see you again, happy trail. No, that's not it. Until I see you again, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.